everyone. Today is Tuesday, October 21st, 2025. It is 6:30 p.m. We are here in the Selectmen's Meeting Room at the Town Hall for a public hearing in person, Zoning Board of Appeals meeting. I'd like to call this meeting to order. Is there a motion to open?
I make a motion that we open the meeting.
I have a motion
Second.
and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, first order of business this evening is to approve the minutes from September 16th, 2025. They are printed in before you. I believe you had a couple of questions.
Yeah, well, I mean, they have, all the motions that I made, they have down as Mr. Whitehead. So those need to be changed.
Yeah.
The other one too that I'm looking, I've just noticed now, the meeting mail, Michael Thomas Freites, I believe it's Thomas Michael Freites,
Okay.
if that's his son.
Actually, it is Michael Thomas. It's
Is
on
it?
the assessor's records, yeah.
Okay,
Okay. So yes,
okay.
Mr. Whitehead had resigned a little bit prior, and we need to get the names changed on that. With them corrections, is there a motion to approve the minutes?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve the
I'll
minutes.
second it.
There's a motion, a second. All in favor? So moved. We have no meeting mail, no special appointments, just our public hearings. The first public hearing is under old business. We have two cases continued. The first case, 2025.06.17B, continued. The case of Three Kings Marine LLC for property located at 42 South Main Street, map 15, lot 271, and Savigny Street, map 15, lot 270. The petitioner is appealing a letter from the building commissioner to cease and desist all activity on the premise. We do have that cease and desist before us. It was actually from April 4th of 2025. We did allow them to continue, not operation of the business, but to be there cleaning up in hopes that we could get things back on track and in a good manner for the town. So is there anyone to represent Mr. Roy?
Yes, sir. We have moved forward and did some cleanup. I didn't actually get as much done as I wanted to. If I could maybe have some more time with that, I'd like to keep moving forward. And we have been looking for other options to use the property for other things. I'm just trying to find something else where we can go with our operation, but I don't have anything right now for that.
I don't, I'm just gonna speak for myself right now before we open up to public comment and everybody else, but it's been several months that we've given you to clean up over there. I know you've done some fencing in, but almost no garbage has been removed from there. The place is littered with junk. A junkyard is not allowed there. I feel like we've given you a lot of time to clean it up. I love the fact that you're looking into other options, but I mean, in my opinion, anything to do with the business you're running there has to stop. The only thing you should be doing is getting stuff out of there, and I don't see that happening. So I don't know where we're going with this. That if I was you and sitting before this board, I would have had that place emptied and gutted, dumpsters gone, like totally cleaned out, so that we can work together. I don't feel you're working with us. That's my opinion.
I guess I misunderstood you guys before when you gave us permission to continue working.
No,
And-
we gave you permission to clean it, to be able to access the property in order to clean it out. That's all you were allowed. The business, the way you run it, is not allowed. All you're doing is bringing shit there and leaving it on the lands. like just making a mess of the property. Now you've put a fence around it to hide the mess, but it's a mess. It's terrible what you're doing over there. None of that stuff should be there. The business you're trying to say you're running, which is a marine salvage, there's very little marine salvage going on. It's a junk pile. And I'm tired of the neighbor complaints. I'm tired of everybody in town's complaints. It's not a good thing what you're doing over there. We can't allow you to do any of that. And we were allowing you to clean it out in hopes that maybe we could allow you to continue your marine salvage, but that's not what you're doing there. That's not what we're seeing going on.
And I'm just gonna add that the fire chief should be notified of the hazardous waste, the fuel barrels that you have that are open and uncovered. You can't do that, you know that. You cannot leave barrels that have had fuel in them. You smell it, you walk by them. I went in there, you gave me permission. I went in there, we have pictures of everything that's gone on in there. You got dumpsters, 13-yard roll-offs that are rotten. You ain't gonna take them out of there. They're all full of plastic bottles and garbage. I mean, that's, you gotta stop, you gotta clean it up before you can do anything. We allowed you, like Mr. Chairman said, to go in there and take stuff out that you needed for your operation. Nothing's been done in there. I went in there, I walked all through it. I went in with I had a conservation member go with me too. I mean, you've got excavators in there with trees growing up through them. How are you gonna move those? It's gonna cost you $50,000 to clean, to get those out of there, never mind the rest of it. I mean, the town, to me, it looks like the town's gonna end up being on the hook for all this, and it's gotta stop now. So, I mean, I don't,
Because it's what we do, I want to know if there's any comment from the floor on this matter? Do you have any more you want to tell us on what's going on, how, like, you're telling us you want more time. I don't know what the more time's for. Like, there was a cease and desist in April 4th, May, June, July, August, September, October. We're 6 months in. Other than putting a fence around the place, nothing's changed, nothing's improved. You're not running a marine salvage operation there. You're running a junkyard, and it's not even a junkyard, which is good metal and stuff you can do. It's garbage.
It's not garbage to us. I mean,
Well, it can't be stored on the ground in this town.
A lot of it's equipment that we, it's chain, it's anchors,
That stuff's fine.
I
That
do have
metal is
stuff in
fine.
dumpsters, I agree, but
There's plastic, there's oils, there's grease, there's rats.
There's
It's
no
loaded
rats.
with rats.
there's no rats there.
There was.
There's no rats there.
you see all the rodents coming from under the vans that are on the side. I got pictures of it all.
There's rabbits. There's not rats.
Okay.
And woodchucks.
They'll be there soon enough with the way it is. That's what we're trying to avoid.
Well, I don't know. I'll ask the board for their, my input, my opinion is the business that I see there isn't the business they say they're operating. It's not a marine salvage yard.
Right.
If you were doing that, it would look like the marine salvage yards down in the water where there's metal, there's anchors, there's chain, there's boat parts, there's this, there's that, but not all the garbage, not dumpsters full of garbage. That stuff's in dumpsters because it's garbage. It needs to go out as it comes in. It can't just sit there.
My understanding too is that property was, you're allowed to storage 300 feet in.
Well,
And they're almost to the first house in the back corner.
so the idea with that is the first 300 feet off of Main Street is
Right.
commercial property.
Right.
Beyond that, it's not. So any special permit you got for, or not even special permits, because that's allowed uses for the first 300 feet. But the allowed use isn't junkyard. That's not an allowed use. The marine salvage could be, if that's what we thought you were running there. It just doesn't seem that.
I was under the impression when we bought the property, it was contractor's storage yard. And I believe that-
Contractor's storage yard is allowed.
Okay,
You can do
and
that.
that's what we feel like we're doing.
We
No.
don't. I don't.
No.
I don't.
Yeah, I
I
don't.
don't.
Okay,
Yeah,
I don't. Garbage is not contractor storage. And I agree with you. If you're using materials that you're gonna use again, that's fine. But the stuff in them dumpsters isn't, you're not gonna bring that out and sell it again. And if it was there because you're bringing in the rubbish and you're throwing it away and it goes out, that's one story. But them dumpsters aren't being emptied regularly. They're not going in and out. You're just keeping that there and making a mess. As a contractor, when you bring in rubbish, you gotta bring it out, and not once a year, as it comes in. If you can't empty a 30-yard dumpster every month, then you need a 10-yard dumpster, because you can't leave garbage on site indefinitely.
okay. I'm not disagreeing with you on that. I understand that. How about, I mean, can I have an extension on cleaning?
That's up to the board. My opinion is, we gave you that to clean and you haven't cleaned. I'm okay with giving one more try for 30 days to see if you're hearing us this time versus 2 months ago.
I do hear you this time, and I misunderstood you a little bit last time. So.
I mean, I don't have a problem, but like,
As I wanna see it
you
cleaned up.
gotta see a big jump.
And
The
it-
fuel barrel's gotta go, and a lot of it, you know, get rid of it, the dumpsters that have the trash in them.
Mhm.
I mean, and then we can talk about it, you know, in another 30 days and see how things have gone.
So again,
My opinion.
the building department issued a cease and desist for all operations over there back in April. This board, a few months later, told you, go ahead back on your property, clean it up. Clean it up and we'll revisit whether or not you can do what you're supposed to be doing over there. I'm willing to say, myself, I'm willing to say, we'll agree to do that for another 30 days and say, we're not telling you that this cease and desist doesn't exist. All we're saying is you can spend 30 more days or until the next meeting cleaning it. And then we can go there, and when I say 30 days, I'm saying 25, because I want to go there in 25 days prior to the next meeting and see if you've made progress, seeing if what you're doing is a marine salvage yard. Because if you're running a marine salvage yard, I really don't have a problem with it. I don't. Like, if what you got there is boats and boat parts and anchors and chains and whatnot,
Yep.
and nothing's garbage and nothing's gonna be bringing in rodents and problems, fuel and other issues, I really have no problem with you continuing an operation.
Okay, that's fair enough. I mean, I'd love to be able to meet your needs for
Yeah,
that.
so the chairman's saying 25 days, that's 3 weeks, right?
Yeah.
You know, 3.5 weeks.
I mean,
Basically,
the
not
fuel-
quite 4.
the
gotta
fuel
clean it
barrel,
up.
the fuel barrels, all you need to do is get a plastic, vinyl top.
I just-
and
I was-
and
I-
band it on there.
So,
I just need to get them pumped.
Mr. Chairman,
I
do you need
understand.
to have him ask for another continuance, or are we making a motion to
No, I'm looking,
extend it 30 days, 20-some days, whatever?
upon what he's asking and agreeing to,
Yeah,
I'm saying to the board, if it's okay with you, I would definitely entertain a motion to give him another 30 days for cleanup,
yeah.
Right.
providing before the next meeting, we get to inspect the property
Pending
and make
site
sure that
visit,
he's
yeah.
running the business that he's supposed to be running.
Sounds fair.
Yeah. I make a motion that we allow him
Just,
a 30-day extension till the next meeting with a site inspection
Prior.
prior to the meeting.
I hate to ask, but with the scope of work that I feel like I do, I mean, are you willing to give me any more time than 30 days? Just so I can make sure I get it done right?
Um,
I know, I'm just-
I am, as long as I see forward progress. I'd rather continue this
Right.
until December
Yeah.
than go there in 3 weeks, see a mess and do this again.
That's what I'm afraid of. I won't have enough time with 3 weeks, but if you give me a little more time, I'll give you my word that I'll get it all the dumpsters
Prior to
emptied
our
out.
December meeting, I would like an inspection, and obviously from December on, there's not gonna be much progress because it's dead of winter.
Holidays.
So we're gonna expect it very clean over there.
Okay. Well, and on the other note, I mean, it's like you say that it's. I understand what it looks like over there, and it's tough to keep everything in order just because everything just grows. You said the stuff in the machine that over the summer, that it just, everything just
That's been
overtook us.
a minimum 3 years.
And that's the issue, that's what we're saying. When you have stuff,
That machine-
salvage or not, that needs to be stored for more than 3 years, then you can say that it's something and it has value and everything else. But something that you allow a tree to grow up through, you're gonna have a hard time convincing me of its value.
Okay.
Scrap it, do what you need to do.
What about boats? What about boats? Like, what am I allowed to have there for boats?
Well, again, on the 300 feet towards the street, if you're running a marine salvage yard and it's an allowable use and you're okay to do that before, I don't know. I don't know the answer. That's a building department question.
Okay.
What you can do with the property is a building department question. My issue is he ordered a cease and desist, saying you couldn't do what you're doing, and you're asking us to disagree, and I don't disagree. What you're doing over there is way out of the spectrum of running a business. It's running a junkyard, which I know is not allowed. What is allowed, you really gotta.
I'm not
go through
running
the
a
building
junkyard.
department.
I'm not. I mean,
Well-
if I was running a junkyard, I'd be selling metal and having people and buying metal and stuff.
Well, I don't even mean junkyard, I almost mean a garbage lot.
Okay.
There's a lot of garbage there. It needs to get cleaned up.
Kevin, you wanna amend your 30-day to a 60-day motion?
I'll amend my motion to a 60-day, and prior to the meeting in December, we will go and do a site inspection.
Okay.
I'll second that.
You
Good.
good with that?
Chairman?
I'd like you to do 50-day if possible.
50
So
day?
just because if we put this meeting in December on the
Before
15th,
Christmas,
it's not gonna be 60 days.
Yeah.
So we're giving them 2 months,
Yep,
but to our next meeting,
okay.
prior to our next meeting. Our meetings are on the 3rd Tuesday of the month. I don't know what the date
Right.
is,
So
but
if I amend.
prior to that.
If I amend the motion to, prior to, we do an inspection prior to our December meeting.
prior to the
He
December
has until
meeting.
then. Yep.
And obviously, he's on the meeting, he will be notified of the next meeting.
Yeah.
He will know the date, he'll
Right.
know a few days earlier, we're gonna take a look at it.
Right.
So,
50 days will cover it.
Can we set an appointment where I could be present for that
Absolutely.
walkthrough?
absolutely, I wouldn't even wanna be there without you.
Okay.
Well, I went in, but I'd asked him.
Absolutely.
I asked that at the last meeting.
I don't remember giving permission for that. I knew that, I figured it was coming and I didn't know that it happened.
Well, your brother was, unless it was your brother that gave it. I mean,
Could have been,
It's
yeah.
on the tape. so.
Okay, it could have been,
Yeah.
but I just would like to be present so that if there is something that you guys aren't happy
We'll
with,
point it out.
I could, yeah, and
That's
be aware
fair,
of it.
that's fair enough, that's all we ask.
I am not anti you or your business at all,
No.
I just want the property cleaned up.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank
So,
you.
there's a motion, there's a second,
I
all in
second.
favor? So moved.
Okay, thank you,
Let's get it cleaned up.
thank you. Thanks.
Okay, next case, also continued from the last meeting, case number 2025-0916C. Continued, a case from Cheryl Kazmaya, property located at Toby Street, map 2, lot 35.47. Says on May 30th, 2007, Lot 47 was reduced to a non-buildable lot due to wetlands. A variance is required pursuant 331E1, minimum lot area upland requirements. The applicant is looking to change Lot 47 to buildable. We continued because you didn't have your engineer and not a lot of information. Last week, looks like you have an engineer with you here tonight to talk about it with us.
Good evening, board members. John Romanelli, Zenith Land Surveyors in New Bedford, representing the Casimira family. We did perform an instrument survey on the site back in April of this year. We had Stephen Smeal from Carver delineate the wetlands and came up with a game plan to show a proposed dwelling in size roughly 1,200 square feet with a proposed driveway, small deck attached to the back of the house. The lot is undersized. As we know in this zone, it's 60,000 square feet minimum with 40,000 square feet upland area. It's in a grandfather type situation. I wanted to show on the back of this, I have the original land court plan that was drafted in 1976 that showed the whole neighborhood. So the town line is right here where my hand's running down. So all these lots here are all in Acushnet from this side over there in New Bedford. This is Peckham Road at the bottom of the page. The lot in question is here at the end of Toby Street, highlighted in pink. Mr. Angers, who is Cheryl's dad, developed all these lots in the 70s. He actually built these homes. And he kept these bottom two lots for himself, thinking he would build on them at one point. In 2000, there was a plan drafted by SciTech, which I have here as well. And this went before Conservation, it went before ZBA. It's basically the same flag line that was done by Steve in 2025. This was done in 2000. I'm not sure who delineated it, but it was done by SciTech. They basically showed the same thing, a proposed raised ranch of about the same footprint I just showed on the last page. There is town water, I should say city water, and city sewer very close to the proposed dwelling. I'm gonna flip it back over for a second. So when we did the field survey, there's an existing gas main that runs down Toby Street. There's an existing water main that ends here. And there also is a sewer manhole with a forced main that heads up Toby Street. Another thing I wanted to bring up was as far as needing a variance, the hardship they really have is there is a tremendous, and I don't know if you guys know the neighborhood, but there's a tremendous amount of water that comes down the top of Toby Street into this neighborhood. There's a 12-inch 12-inch RCP pipe with a head wall at the end here that I noted. That carries a lot of water. There are also two drainage easements on either side, north and south of Toby Street, that carry a tremendous amount of water. So their hardship is, I mean, the soils are poor. There's a lot of hydric soils, a lot of wetlands in here. And topography is also against them. So they're fighting drainage coming down from everybody's house up the top of the street into this site. I also wanted to show an aerial view of the neighborhood so you can get a better grip on it. I'm gonna take this down. So again, all these lots in this neighborhood, our lot is just over 20,000 square feet. I think all these in here are 23,124. They're the same square footage. These lots here in Acushnet are all on 15,000, 16,000 square feet. So it's no more detrimental to the neighborhood. We're not doing anything out of the norm for the neighborhood. Again, there's water sewer available, so we don't have to worry about a perk test. The issue is there's not a ton of upland area, and I did a calculation. I know that came up last hearing, I couldn't attend. The upland area I did highlight here is right around 8,800 square feet, so there is room to build a small single-family dwelling. Mr. Angers, who is no longer with us, he passed away about 3 years ago, was actually going to build a house for his son here in 2000 when that permit process all came about. And unfortunately, he came down with thyroid cancer, became sick. There was an order of conditions also on the property back in 2000. It was appealed by the town, and then there was a superseding order of conditions on top of that. But from talking to Cheryl, there was no permit ever issued for this property. I'm not 100% sure why, if it was Mr. Anger's health that stopped him from going forward. But I know some of the neighbors were not in favor of this, and I think they kind of fought him tooth and nail back in the day. So they're looking for some relief from the board as far as area. It does have the required frontage. We would meet all the other setbacks as far as side yard, front yard, rear yard. We don't meet the upland area and area requirements in this district.
It doesn't look like it meets frontage either.
It does. It's got 150 here and 21 here. There's about...
Oh, that's
170.
combined to, the opposite radius.
Correct.
Okay, I see it.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it does meet that.
You got about 170.
70, yes. And again...
You don't have the 150 by 150 square.
No, we do not have the box, no. Is there anything else you would like to add, Cheryl?
I would just like to give them this particular, we did a lot of research. We read through all of the paperwork from back in 2000, and I kind of came up with this order of sequence, what took place. If I could give these to you. We'll say they're stapled. There's 4 different things that took place, sorry. There was the denial from the Conservation Department, which is where we went. I would assume that ZBA must have passed through, and we went to the Conservation Commission. They denied it, and they gave a list. My father appealed it in June of the same year, and after that, it actually went to the Department of Environmental Protection, which in August 14th, 2000, you'll find here that it did get approved by them. They said, if you read that, above rest and file in accordance with the general laws, the Department of Environmental Protection has issued the enclosed superseding order of conditions. This order approves the proposed project subject to certain conditions. And again, there was, all the superseding conditions that took place several months after. And then when my father went to apply for the building permit, the town conservation still shut him down. And we have no idea why.
You do realize that even if we gave you a variance on size, lot size or anything, you still gotta go back through
100%.
conservation.
Yes.
And conservation is a lot stricter than it was 25 years ago as well.
Yes, that'll be a bigger hurdle than tonight's.
But I'm just looking for a fresh set of eyes. We're looking for, a second chance to look through it. And if this department ordered a superseding, conditions, I think that, I don't know, I don't understand why they thought that everything was,
Well,
Everything
again, it
was
sounds
met.
like you could have moved forward
Yes.
at the end back then in 2000. But then again, it was, I don't want to misread anything. It was actually asked from the owner back in May 30th, 2007. It was reduced to non-buildable due to wetlands or whatever, but again, you're going back not quite 20 years, but 18 years, it's been non-buildable and paid as non-buildable, which I do have a little bit of an issue with, because if you're holding on to land to build on it down the road,
well, we weren't really, like I say, this is.
I understand what you're saying, but for the past 18 years, it's been thought of as a non-buildable lot and been paid that way. It could have been abandoned and given up to land trust or anything else, but you're paid on a very short value. And now, if we do say that it's a buildable lot, size-wise, dimension-wise, and you get through everybody else, obviously the value is nowhere near the 14,000 or whatever it's at. So I've got a little issue with that.
Is there a time
At some
frame
point when-
back taxes?
At some point when there's something abandoned, it's abandoned. That's it. If there was a case for this to be buildable, it should have been kind of continued back in 2007. I'm gonna start with that. Because now we're going back and forth. We're saying it wasn't buildable, you fought for the right to be buildable and abandoned that right, and now 20 years later, you want it back. So that's,
I believe it was denied by the building inspector. The permit was denied
okay.
based on the conservation. After, like I say, even though the state found that it met all the requirements that it should have, protecting the wetlands, the habitat, everything,
Okay.
the town conservation was what stopped it.
I don't know. We've heard from the petitioners. I'd like to give the public a chance to speak, if anybody would like to. Board, any
Really?
questions, I'm sorry?
I do.
Please.
The only concern I have
If
is
you could come to the podium,
sure.
please. Just
the,
because of the minutes and stuff, if you could just state your name and address.
Paul Sylvia?
Yep.
898 Toby.
Thank you.
The neighbor that used to complain moved this year, and now this is getting looked at now. One of the big concerns back there was the flagging.
Okay.
So they said the flagging was done at the bottom of the wetlands and not the top. So I don't know if that's been redone, but that was the biggest concern from the meeting last year. And I actually got the print out from the meetings, because last time I was here, I said I had the tape. Well, I got the notes, and it's exactly what I said. So that was our concern, is what's changed from the flagging to now? Because I'm sure you're going by whatever they did
I'm gonna
last time.
say, it does sound like Mr. Romanelli has new flags.
Okay.
And they look almost identical to the old
Correct,
flags.
yes.
The wetlands haven't really creeped up or backwards anywhere.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, my concern was the old flags that were wrong, or was it, because I don't think they did it again, but maybe they did, they did.
Certainly did.
Okay.
Mr.
They were
Romanelli,
definitely-
I'm taking your word for it that it's been reflagged and done, because you know you gotta go through conservation anyway.
Correct. I located the flags myself. They
Hey.
definitely refreshed.
We're here and we listen to what he's saying about the flagging.
Yeah.
If he's giving us stories, he's not gonna get through conservation
Yeah, yeah.
anyway, so there's no,
Well, that
there's
was,
no use in that.
That was our concern, what
Yeah.
changed between now and then, that's all.
Okay? Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Appreciate your input. Board have any suggestions, one way or another? What do you guys think about this?
So are you combining the other lot as well with it? No, that's.
We are not.
just-
If they're registered lands, we can't, we'd have to go through quite a process to combine them.
Yeah, so that lot is just gonna stay there.
Yeah, and there is very little upland on the
Okay.
lot to
I
the
was just
south.
curious what your future plans were on it. That's it, that's my only question, Jim.
So just for clarification, on my map, it shows 20,388 square feet. Do you have an upland amount?
I do, and I should give you, I did bring some fresh copies instead of that small plan you guys keep looking at.
I have a plan, but I don't believe it shows upland or I can't see it. 792, 96.
Yeah, somewhere.
Take a look at it. This does show a pretty good significant area of how wet it is down the bottom of that hill.
I'll just offer, I'm not trying to sway this one way or the other. We've been recently looking at lots because of old combinations and other things and this and that and the other. And we've kind of been to the, even the state says less than 10,000 isn't a lot. This is a 20,000 square foot lot, but almost 12,000 feet of it is wet, which is, it's not just wet, it's all swamp down there, it is. And upland is 8796, so.
Mr. Chairman, can I ask one question?
Of
Do you know
course.
if the town ever looked into rezoning? I know they looked into other areas, especially in this neighborhood, where water and sewer was available. They went down to 10,000 square feet for the village.
We did, and that's why have that in my head. If this was up behind town hall here and stuff.
Right.
And actually, I think a little bit of it is 8,000, where there's water and sewer, and it's up behind the area. 8,000 square foot, and that's lot size, not upland, so it kinda goes with the neighborhood, and that's what I always look at. Does it go with the neighborhood? It does, because they were all drawn at the same time and the same, but the other ones just have a little trace of wet behind them, and they're fairly good lots, whereas this one is gonna be quite confined to the front.
True.
And again, I'm not trying to sway it one way or the other. I don't have a problem with it. I'm not trying to push for or against it, just,
It's very wet, and
it's wet, it's wet.
it's extremely, because our lot is the opposite,
Yeah, they're over
that she
here.
said was combined,
With this rain we just got, it's,
and we get loaded, our backyard with water, with that.
96?
96,
Yeah, they're right here.
They're across the
This
right
one?
across the
Yeah,
street.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly, yep.
So we get loaded with water. We had to get pie in the
Yeah.
basement even.
And again, it really, on the map, it doesn't, well, you might be using that a lot too. But yeah, I get it. And in your basement as well. Understood. It's wet, it's wet, it's wet. This house is for yourself, for
Yes.
sale?
Nope, it's a retirement home.
It's for you.
Mhm.
Means something to me, for what it's worth. The families own the land forever, and it's for them, not for a quick sale and a thing, so. I don't know, I'm at the mercy of the board here, whatever you guys think
I
on this
have
one.
no issues knowing that's gotta go to conservation anyway, so it's,
I-
they're over my head.
I-
So
I-
I have no problem with
I
it.
kinda agree with that, knowing that if you can't get it through conservation, cause it is too wet, that
So I-
they're a lot more skilled in the wet stuff. I'm just looking at the size of the lot, and it's the same as the rest of them, and
We still have hurdles.
it's down on the cul-de-sac, it's at the end. I don't think, my opinion is what everybody's saying, it's not detrimental to the neighborhood unless it causes backup of water. And I honestly think that if the conservation allows it, whatever they make you do is gonna help relieve water, not back it up, right? Everything we do in construction now helps get the water away, generally speaking, with all the things, so.
I'll make a motion to accept it, so it goes on to conservation after this.
We have a motion to allow the undersized lot,
A second.
and there is a second. All in favor? So moved. Good luck with conservation and everything, the rest of the
That was
hurdles.
just begun, thank you very much.
Can I have these both signs?
I do it down there. Thank you very much.
You're gonna keep this because it tells you what happens. Okay.
Screen
Thank you.
on the back.
Have a good night.
One little, there would be one little high spot, except it rained like crazy yesterday.
Probably. But it was, you know.
Mara, you good with the paperwork, ready to move forward? Okay. Our last case this evening.
For the records?
Yeah, we have it. Laurie, I will give you the maps they gave for the file. Okay, our last case this evening, new case, new business, public hearing, case number 2025-1021A. Case of Leo E. Cussin for property located at 249 Hathaway Road, map 12, lot 15E1. Petitioner seeks a variance proposing to demolish the garage, which has existed since at least 1971, to construct a two-bedroom house on a lot which is greater in size than most of the developed properties in the surrounding neighborhood. Hello, Leo, looks like you have Dave to represent you this evening.
Good evening.
What's
Board-
yours?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Board members, for the record, I'm Dave DeVignan from Schneider DeVignan Leone, here representing Leo Cussin. Also with him this evening is his son. The Cussins have owned this property, this particular piece, for approximately 60 years, according to what Leo's told me. The lot is short 5,277 square feet, or 8.8%, from meeting the minimum 60,000 square foot required for it to be a buildable lot. The lot is also short on the frontage of the contiguous upland area, which is required to be 40,000. This lot has 32,001 square feet. So those are two variances that we're requesting. The plan was prepared by another surveying outfit, which shows the upland and the wetland area on it. I just want to point out this plan says existing dwelling, but it's not a dwelling, but there is a barn, a garage, if you will, sited just like it's shown here. There's some sort of septic behind it, so it does have water to it. There's municipal water in the street. Now, we've done as part of your packet, we've done a study of the surrounding neighborhood to show compatibility with what's around this neighborhood. What I did is I put a spot right in the middle of the lot, and I drew a 1/4 mile radius. And what I discovered that there are 18, let me see, I have 37 properties. The contiguous upland area, just the upland area at 32,000 square feet, is larger than 37 other properties in and of themselves. There are another 18 other properties which have less than 40,000 square feet. There's another additional 12 properties that are less than 60,000 square feet. Basically, I came up with 67, this is within a quarter-mile radius of the property, 67 other properties that do not meet the 40,000, 60,000 minimum requirements. So in my opinion, this is an area, like you see throughout town, that is zoned way beyond what the neighborhood is. It makes no sense because our zoning is antiquated and needs to be updated. There are about 23, I counted 23 properties within that radius that do have 60,000. 9 were created through an A&R plan around the bend in the last 20 some odd year, 2013. But overall, there's 74% of the properties within that 1/4 mile radius that do not comply with the current standard. And if you go further, if you expand that 1/4 mile radius, there are 2 large neighborhoods where there's another 80 properties that are less than 30,000 square feet in size. And those properties are, see, the neighborhood.
Green Meadow.
Yeah,
Yes.
Green Meadow and the other one. So when you factor that into the equation, 86.5% of the properties do not comply with the current required standard. Again, we're short 8.8% of 60,000 square feet from it being a buildable lot. As far as the upland area,
Looks like you got the 150 by 150, no problem.
yes, the frontage is there. The box will fit right in that frontage. There's plenty of room to put a septic out by the road and to position the house at or towards the road from the existing building, which will be demolished. And that structure has existed. I went back to aerials and found it as far back as 1971. And Mr. Cusson is looking to build a house for himself, a small 2-bedroom house. So with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Public input?
Yeah, I live next door to there.
Could you use the podium?
Yeah.
Name and address, please.
Kevin Keel, 221 Hathaway Road. I live next door to that property, and I'm just saying I have absolutely no problem with Leo building there.
Thank you.
You live right to the left of it or to the right of it?
If you were facing it, it
Facing
would be
it.
to the right.
Okay, just curious. Thank you.
Lot 15E.
Okay.
This is my grandmother's house.
Yeah, it was my grandmother's,
Oh.
my mother's house. That's where I grew up.
I didn't see you come in.
I snuck in.
I don't know, guys.
Late as usual.
And I look at it. I look directly at the property and I have no problem either.
No problem. It's an easy one for me. It's pretty simple.
I make a motion that we allow the variances as requested.
I'll second
There's a motion and a second to allow the variance to allow them to build on the 53,380 square feet. And a second, all in favor?
it. All right.
So moved.
All right,
Thank
good
you.
luck, guys.
Thank you. So they gotta address those five,
I have to sign.
it's gotta go by neighborhoods instead of just a
Well, the neighborhood's one thing, but the way I'm looking at it lately, if the governor's telling us that we have to allow people to have a second home on every property, that 50,000 square feet is
And that's it.
it's not an issue for a guy trying to retire and build a
All
two-family.
right.
In this case, no, I've got, there's already a structure on it.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? So like,
Do we have anything else?
like I said, no problem. So, I apologize, yes, we do need to close the meeting before we get carried away with discussion. So I'm glad we had an easy night here. Is there any other new business, anything that anybody needs before we adjourn this meeting? Can I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to,
There's a motion, a second to adjourn, all in favor?